aloha, howdy and aloha. I always do this backwards. Howdy and aloha. This is James with Monotalk, or Monotalk with James. And I have a wonderful guest tonight who is going to be running gubernatorial race for the state of California. And her name is Veronika with a K, I'm just telling you right now, with a K, Fimbres. Veronika Fimbres. Welcome, Veronika Fimbres. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, James. I'm doing well.
Good. Good to see you. I like the ambiance, what's going on in the background. I love the background. It's my favorite part. Well,
Thank
anyway,
you.
let's not get into those details anymore. Okay. But it's good to have you on. It's great to have you on. But anyway,
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So it's good. So on Monotalk, we talk about all kinds of stuff, but sometimes we use it just to we had Josh Jones on here. We've had Darlene Elias. She's one of the part of the 7 columns, right?
Okay.
The chair member or something like that. We've had Derek Crow, who's running as a Justice Democrat in Texas. We've had Dr. Shiva. He's running against Elizabeth Warren. We've had a few people on the show. Oh, and the guy, Bill Elliott, he's running Green Party in West Virginia, been on the show too. So we'd like to have people that we can, and the great thing about this is you can take this information, this show, and send it to everybody. Because if you look at the title, go ahead and press your, if it says live on one of those on your iPad.
I'm looking to see if I see live and.
Yeah, just refresh it. It'll probably show live.
It'll say subscriptions. Oh, yes.
Can you see yourself?
I see it.
You good?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Now that's about 4 to 5 sec. That's about 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 or 5 second delay. Okay.
Okay. So let me turn the volume down.
Yes. No, on there on the iPad, not here on the phone. On there, yeah.
No.
Turn that up. Yeah, I know people do it. It's backwards sometimes. But you see how I did that? Look, it says Monotalk with James, and this is topic of discussion. No Veronika Fimbres running for gubernatorial candidate, Green Party. You like the pink border around that? You like the pink border? Can you kind of see it?
I can see it a little bit. I don't have my glasses.
People that are watching it on their 42 inchers, they can see it. Yeah.
Cool.
Mine's not that big. I'm just saying right now. Okay. All right. So hey, welcome.
Thank you.
What's going on with you, girl? How's it going? What's up?
Life is very challenging, but it's very good. I have no complaints. I'm glad to be alive and in the world. I've been busy having interviews. I interviewed with a local paper yesterday here in my neighborhood. I stay in Sunnyside, part of San Francisco, California. And so I had a nice interview at a coffee shop that I didn't even know existed. And so it's been interesting. I'm a bit busier than usual, but I'm glad to be busy. I'm trying to get the message out and to circulate among the people and let them know that I'm for them. I'm with them. I'm one of them.
And and how long have you been with the Green Party?
17 years.
Holy mackerel! Yeah, I'm just a little greenhorn guy that just showed up. I registered green for the general election.
Well, the good thing is that it's never too late to join, and the reason I joined was I wasn't very satisfied with the way that the Democratic Party was embracing things. They seemed like they were stuck and in a rut and didn't have any idea or any pattern for success, no progressive ideas. So the Green Party, I looked them over. They appealed to me. And I said, hey, this is something I'm going to be a part of. And so I switched over right away.
And you got that clue way before I did, and many people. Because there's a lot of people that were with Bernie that have come to the Green Party because there is a lot of hope with the Green Party.
You can never lose hope. And you have to have hope with the Green Party because people are still not, even though they are embracing a lot of Bernie's politics and a lot of things that he wanted to go forward on. And I embrace some of his things too, but you don't have to necessarily vote for who you think is trying to run the party or run the whole party. like, I just vote for who I think is the best candidate. It makes the most sense to me. You pick. So like, last time I voted for Bernie Sanders. I even though I belong to the Green Party, I voted for Bernie Sanders, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not devoted to a party. I'm devoted to the message and to the people.
It's all about the people, the voting public out there. We're the people getting screwed, right? I mean,
We the people.
right? I mean,
We the
everybody's
people.
living in a shithole lately. Am I correct?
Yes. According to POTUS, people are in shitholes.
POTUS.
Yeah, what a joke.
It's POTUS the bonus. It's just a God. What a goofball. It's embarrassing. The whole thing is just so embarrassing.
It's internationally embarrassing, and no wonder. If he ever makes it to England, I don't know how he expects the Queen to touch his hand. I don't think Elizabeth is
she's
going to
wear like a hazmat suit. You know what a hazmat suit is? You know, like when you're going into like a radioactive shelter. No, not a shelter, but like
the whole hood, the whole deal.
Hood and stuff and glasses.
Yeah.
Like this, doing one of these.
I don't even think she wants him in the palace, and I wouldn't blame her. I mean, why would you allow vermin or poison, something toxic, into your world? And it's a shame that he's in the world of being our president. I mean, it's just really what he's done. And what's even worse is how the Republicans have gathered around him, and they're not using their powers as a Congress or a Senate to stop him, to nip him in the bud, to do anything. They're all behind him. They're backing him up. It's amazing how you see these people who were so against him when they were running, when he was challenging Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and everyone, how they've turned for him all of a sudden. When they said he was a kook, and then soon you see Lindsey Graham saying that he's not a kook and he's brilliant. They're calling this buffoon a genius. I mean, it's very frustrating. And so I never wanted to be a Republican. Never ever considered being Republican. It incenses me to see that there's a Black Republican. I mean, how could you possibly be Republican knowing all the things that they have done to and for us? When you hear Condoleezza Rice talk about how, oh yeah, I was a Republican, they signed me up and stuff. Well, that's not the same party. Whatever she thought she was getting, they're not the same. If she thought she was getting people that were pro-Black and pro-people.
She's like the biggest oxymoron ever.
You know what I mean? That's insane. It's insane. It doesn't make sense
Black,
to me.
You're a woman, and you're a Republican. No, what and here's one that would really flip your mind. You're Black, you're a woman, you're gay, and you're a Republican.
That is very upsetting.
There's a few out there.
Oh, I know.
How does that make any sense at all?
I've seen them, and I've met one or two of them, and it just you can't discuss politics with them because they'll have you just going 5150. They'll need a restraining order to keep you away from them. Yeah, it's that serious.
yeah. Nobody on this channel thinks there's no admiration, there's no respect, there's nothing that comes from anybody that comes on this show. Usually, we've had a couple of trolls, and they were just total white supremacist, racist punks a while back, but now we have a way to get rid of them a lot quicker, or disallow them to come in.
That's good, but you know what? I'm not out to change minds. I'm trying to just talk to the people. I want the people to hear what I have to say. There's 3 candidates that I know that are running for Green Party to be the one to be the Green Party candidate officially. Mm-hmm. And I know them. They're great guys. I would never say anything bad about them. In fact, it's been my blessing and I've never seen this before, as a party where all of us are, we have the same platform. So basically, and we all stand for the same thing. So there's no animus between us. We're friends. We know each other. Right. But it's kind of stopped there because with me, not only am I a woman, I'm a Black woman, and there's never been a Black woman, to my knowledge, that has ever run for governor. Not only am I just a Black woman. I'm a Black trans woman. And
Oh,
so that puts a little showbiz kicker in it.
just a
But
little kick, just a kick,
just a
just a
little
little.
bit, like a little bit of flavor.
Like touchdown.
And then I'm also a veteran. I served honorably in the United States Navy. So,
Hey, I was in the Navy too. Woo
hey,
woo.
I know I saw you. You look hot.
Oh god, no. You know what? That guy. That's what does that call when you fix the screen
Oh,
with your
Photoshop.
photo? I photoshopped the hell out of those pictures.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is
Everybody,
fancy.
you're just older. That's all we all. If you see me when I was younger, I was like, damn, I look
Yeah.
that good. But now, I
What
still,
happens? It could change. I'm starting to walk every day. I'm starting to do some more stuff. This is the beginning
yeah,
of the beginning of good things. Let's get going. This is awesome, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
very good, very good. I just lost 35 pounds. I'm doing
Woohoo!
fine, doing
That's a
fine,
lot.
feeling
Good
good.
job.
Yeah, yeah, I had about a poison oak, and so I
Whoa.
was telling my doctor, I said,
Mm.
the steroids you gave me for that poison oak, I'm gonna have like triple, double, six chins. And he said, well, the residual of the prednisone lives in your body fat. I said, that's right. So the trick was to get rid of the body fat. So I didn't.
That's important. That's what I'm working on. Working on all that. I'm gonna tell you my biggest problem. I am a little lazy. Just telling you. And it's just things. Sometimes I just not moving as well as I should, but I've got to talk to my primal self more and tell it to move, get up, go do something. And it's like an argument. I like to have actual arguments with myself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, so hey, so you watched? I guess you watched the Josh Jones interview.
Yeah, I did. I was able to see Josh Jones, and what he said. I mean, he's quite knowledgeable. I really enjoyed hearing him speak, and he's a sweetheart on the phone when I've talked to him. Chris was very nice. I haven't seen Chris on video yet, but just talking to him, they're great guys.
Yeah,
I have
look.
nothing but admiration and love for them.
Yeah, green guys are great,
I think so.
and green girls are greater.
Hey, holler.
Holla, what's up?
Green women are even uh, more unhit because, I think one of the things we're starting to see, and one of the things that it proved in Alabama when David Jones was running in Alabama against Roy Monster, child pederast, whatever his name is, Moore.
Right.
And when the Black women pushed David Jones over the hump. They came out to 92% and
Sweet.
made him win.
Boom,
They
boom,
took him
boom.
over the hump. So women are moving more and more forward in politics and to the front of the line. And I think that a long time ago, I heard that if women ran the country, there'd be no wars. Every mother doesn't want to lose their
I would
son.
feel a lot safer. I know I know that I'd have 4 meals a day. I know that.
Four, that many?
No, maybe 5.
Yeah,
Somebody
but
would somebody would be
besides,
taking care of me.
oh yeah,
Anyway,
you're right. You're right.
that's different topic, different night.
That
Okay.
is. But
Okay.
with
So you did watch.
women in politics, they have a chance to reshape the dynamic of what is going on, not in the world, but in nationally, statewide, citywide.
Right.
Women in politics is all good. And recently, Monica, let's see, Danica Rome from Virginia, she won her seat in Virginia, and she was trans,
Mm-hmm.
and her message was what
Yeah, I
was
know.
important.
I
I
know.
think that's the most important thing. And I met her. She was very nice. I enjoyed talking with her. We had a lot in common. She showed me her shoes where she'd worn them out, walking door to door to door to door to meet the people. Well, I'm not going to show you any worn out shoes. That somehow is not my style. I'm not. doing all that walking. But if I can get my message out, and thanks to you, I'll be able to get a lot of it out tonight, and people can get to meet me and see what I'm about and who I am as a person, and why I would like to be governor of California.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, moving around. So you can move around though, right? How are you physically?
Oh
I
yeah, I
gotta
can move
ask.
around.
This is kind of a Q
I
and
can
A.
move around.
I'm
Oh,
not.
I can move around.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I can move around.
All right. So
You
if you
mean
need to go
now,
out and walk around and do stuff, you can do
you
that.
mean
You're good.
now or all the time?
Okay. Good. Okay. That's fine. That's important because you gotta, there's things you gotta do out there. You gotta meet and greet.
Oh yeah, oh
You know.
yeah. And I met quite a few people, and everywhere I go, I introduce myself. I hand them a business card. I thank them for their support, and on the back of my cards are the 10 key values of the Green Party,
Right.
so that they can look them up and see what I'm basically about and what my party's about, and how we can make a difference.
Definitely. I'm working. I don't know if I'm really working with, or I'm kind of working with, but I'm in the media Green Party Media Committee email list, which is
Okay.
cool. So I'm trying to develop some new ways of us getting together, and this is one of the formats that I'm trying to push for all their
Well,
parties.
you've introduced me to this, and I think it's
Isn't it
fantastic.
cool? Do you see yourself on your tablet? Look at your tablet. How cool you look on your tablet.
I do.
Isn't that awesome?
It is nice.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so what we're gonna do, if you don't mind, let's kind of go. So this is no Veronika with a K Fimbres, right? This is
Yes,
no. So
yes.
so what
Get
I'm gonna do
get to know me.
is the reason why I asked you about Josh is, you see, because you guys are pretty much in line, so I don't have to go through the 50 questions. Am I correct?
No, no,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they
But
can
is
ask.
there any topics that stand out to you that you feel that you, for California now, because you're going to, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the country, but it's in regards to California, the state, the infrastructure, the people, the children, the kids, the immigration. There's just so many things. There's
There's a plethora of things
nuclear
that
crap being stowed. Just, I mean, it's amazing the stuff that's happening here. Is there something that you could do? Like the water shitty? I can't believe our water's shitty. It's terrible. There's just so many things. But what is it about California that you want to that you think you would bring to the table, to the people of California, to make them feel like, hey, I really like that about her.
I think
Or is it
the
multiple
thing.
things? Could be multiple. Just go for it, man.
Yeah,
Whatever you
well,
got.
there's many things.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Go for it.
I think that one of the main things that I would bring to the table as a California governor and as a person running for governor is that I'm a real person. I don't put on airs. I don't do stunts. I don't hide my past. I put stuff out on the front so that uh, people can see. I'm transparent.
That's good.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I say what I mean. I think before I say things, because sometimes I'm so sharp that it can be misinterpreted. So I'm cautious. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a cautious woman. I've been around 65 years, as a matter of fact. So I've been there, and but I've done everything that the average man and woman and child has done. And so you see the people that have all this dark money and all this oil, and these Democrats that are stepping up, and the Republicans here in the state of California that are embracing everything that the Green Party is not about. And so I think that our message is stronger. I think it's more powerful that when I'm up there talking to people and out there talking to people, and when I'm uh, debating the opponent, that they'll always know that I have their back,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have their front, and I'm for them, and that them being the people. I'm just another person who cares immensely about this state and about the people in it. So I'm just one of them. So if they can look at me and see that, hey, I like her message, or hey, she's a person of color, or hell, I didn't know she was transgender. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm for the people in the state of California. I not only do I want to win, but I want to make changes. And nobody makes a change alone. So listen to the people, and not just listen to them, but hear them, hear what they say to me, and I pay attention.
Mhm. So what you're saying is you're bringing to the table a real, transparent, genuine person that's going to go through all the issues, and you're going to put the people first. That's what I'm hearing.
Definitely the people first.
Yeah.
It's about the people. When
Well,
I
what
say
about the corporations? What about the companies that, the corporations, the oil companies and the
what
nuclear
about
companies?
those? What about
What
those?
about those
What
guys?
about those crooks?
Yeah.
But that's what that's what they are.
Yeah.
They have, and it's all based on the Republican premise. They only care about money, money, money. And
Yeah.
the realistic thing is that when you die, you can't take it with you. So, uh, but they don't care about the people. And it's amazing. I remember Dolores Huerta. If you ever get the chance to see her movie, it's very wonderful. It's called Dolores, and she was banned and kicked out of Republican books, and the history of her history and how she served the United Farm Workers Union. She was kicked out of those books because she said in a public statement that Republicans don't care about black and brown people. But that's the truth. They don't care about people of color. They don't care, and you can see that by the
Or
things.
minorities, basically, in a sense, right? Minorities.
And any
Yeah.
minority,
Yeah.
and they
Any
don't.
minority. Yeah.
They're shocked. They don't care about women. They they don't care. They try to appropriate women's bodies. They're worried
Well,
about their reproductive cycle.
if you're if you're proportionally perfect and have blonde hair, or you're attractive, then you have value according to
Oh,
the
sure.
Republican Party.
And if you're dark skinned, if you're if you wear a headband or a bandana wrapped around your head, or a burqa, or whatever you
Yeah.
have, a hijab on your head, whatever it is, you're of no value to them because you're not white.
Yeah.
And white is right. And too often, white people have been the only ones to run our state.
Yeah.
I can't think of, if I'm wrong, maybe somebody can tell me, but I don't know of another time when a person of color has ever run the state of California.
No,
And
I don't
and I don't know
know.
of another time where a woman has ever run the state of California.
I don't know.
Or
Just
even another, I don't, excuse me, I don't even
sorry.
know if there may have been another veteran that has run. I'm not even sure about that.
Right. Okay, so I'm looking at the galley, and the galley I call the live chat. I'm just going to say hi to a few people. I don't know if you can see Jean, hola, or hello. Kathy B, Snore, Kathy Jean, Mary Stanford, Cheryl Vick, hey Cheryl, Mary Stanford, again, independent outsider, hey buddy. Jenny Lynn, always here. Some great people on there. Now, that's important, that we definitely look in towards diversity. I think that's huge, but in regards to, like, let's just say, for example, Bernie is not black, but my God, that man chained, handcuffed himself. You like what it looks like? It looks pretty cool, huh?
It does. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But Bernie was a man with a great message.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible about what happened to him in the democratic process because the woman who was in charge of the Democratic Party,
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
yeah, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, um, betrayed Bernie and betrayed the party. As the leader of the DNC, it was her job to be fair and ethical, and there was nothing fair and ethical about any of that. It was as crooked as it could be. And whether they allowed Hillary to usurp the power or whatever, it doesn't matter. It didn't go the way that the people wanted. I think the people really wanted Bernie.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I got a question for you. So in regards to when Josh is on here and stuff, So single payer, Citizens United. So single payer, you're definitely for universal health care. I know that. Citizens United, we should get rid of it. I know that. I mean, you guys are all in step with everything. In regards to um, voting, voting in California and
Yes.
across the country, do you believe it needs some serious fixing?
Oh, yes, yes. I just want to take you back to the basic thing of elementary school.
Okay.
You remember when they say we're going to pick so and so to lead the class? So how many votes is so and so going to get? And the kids raise their hand. The teacher counts the votes.
Mm-hmm.
Every vote is counted. So then so and so wins. That's the way it should be. I mean, it wasn't complicated
Oh,
then.
that they
It,
used ranked choice voting when I was a kid in elementary school. So if you had a classroom of like 8 people, like back then there was like 10 or 12. Now there's a billion.
oh yeah,
But back then, let's just say there was a classroom of 15 people,
right.
and there's three people that you're voting for. That's who's going to be the flag person, though, march or something, or do something. Who's going to be a recess
Whatever.
monitor, right? So what happens is, Jimmy gets 2 votes, Mary gets uh, 3 votes, and then uh, Bobby gets 10 out of the 15 kids. Well, that's fair. That's ranked choice. That's
Exactly.
ranked choice voting. More
That's fair.
people voted for that particular person. Not it's this is God, man. I'm gonna start using that analogy. That's brilliant. Jesus Christ.
Well, it just makes sense. It makes sense that if it's one person, one vote, then we don't need super delegates. That is just a wash. And we don't need an electoral college. That for me is a wash. We just need to make every vote, if every vote truly counts, let the people decide. We don't
Exactly.
need all this other uh for each district they get so many senators and so many this and so many that and so many votes. We need to let the people decide. It's all about the people. You can't keep it any simpler than that.
Yeah. We need some green people in higher offices. Definitely some serious legislation out there. We need them in the judicial realm, of course, too. I think we also need definitely need some green executives, mayors and
We need
governors.
we need greens everywhere
We
in
need green to spread like a
local,
giant virus. Hey,
local,
somebody
statewide.
from the galley, one of our locals had a really quick question about um, pay and all that stuff and people working. But what's her question was, UBI or universal basic income. People just getting money. Do you know what it is? Have you ever heard of
Right.
UBI?
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about that?
I think the premise is a good premise. I don't know how it would be implemented, but I like it. If it would be an equalization of the balance of financial wealth, so that there be nobody hungry,
Yeah.
there'd be nobody homeless, there'd be equality around the state, and
Hmm.
I think it can be done. We just have to find a way to implement it. But I like that. I like the premise. It
Yeah.
sounds good. It makes sense, but
It
you
does
just
make
have to figure
sense.
out how to do it. And one of the ways is just to, those that top 1%, all this money that's floating around California, there should be no child hungry. There should be nobody that isn't covered by insurance that should be able to be seen. There's just so many things that we could do with all the money that's being wasted
Oh, totally.
on things
So,
like fracking, on things like trying to frack, or
yeah, God.
offshore drilling and that horrible
Ugh.
mess. I mean, that is not something. And if Florida can get away with not having to take it because the governor threatened Trump and the midterm elections, then we should be able to push too. But they don't like us because we're classified as a Democratic state. We hardly have room for Republicans. I don't even think there's many Republicans that are even trying to run,
Hmm.
because so far California is a Democratic state. But I want to change that. I don't want a stranglehold on the state by those two parties, and it's up to the people to change it. And I'm trying to be one of the ones that helps make that change.
Right. So a lot of people in the galley, they really want it. They really need it. The thing that I know that UBI does, and by the way, Hawaii is starting it this year. They're starting to implement UBI.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually it was the Republicans and the Democrats in the legislation in Hawaii all went. Most of them went for it, and it's kind of like a test thing right now. So, but what I'm hearing as far as the how this all pans out is when people have a basic income to at least take care of themselves, they can do other things like look for work. You have gas to get to work. You have, or
Child
have
care.
extra money to start a new entrepreneurship or new business or invest. And there's certain things that there's just so many things UBI does. It's something. So you would want to implement that or bring it up because I got some people like Ryan Bank here, and if I can read this because my screen's big enough. UBI Hawaii, yeah, needs to become. Do you think it should be an issue in the upcoming election? Maybe somebody should bring it up.
Yes, I'll be glad to bring it up.
Yeah, definitely,
I'll be
awesome.
glad to bring it up. And especially if I can see how Hawaii has done it, how they've implemented, and how I can see help figure out how to make it work here in California.
Yeah,
I'm
they
all
could. They're a good model so far. Just getting it through to do that. So, but what I believe as far as the Green Party, and this is just me talking about being green because I'm very proud to be a green.
you
If somebody
should
says,
be.
if somebody comes up to me now and says, "Oh, you damn tree hugger," I'm gonna go watch this, and I'm gonna run to the nearest tree. I'm gonna grab onto him and hug it. Said, "You damn right, I'm a tree hugger." It might look a little weird. It might look a little strange. Maybe I do need to get out more. Anyway,
Mm.
yeah. So taxation system needs to be urgent. The biggest thing that I'm kind of knowing about that I've researched about California is just there's no cap and there's no regulation and there's price gouging in regards to rent control and just they're just I mean you can't afford to live in places.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know. It's and it's statewide. It's definitely not just San Francisco. I mean,
yeah.
um, they keep raising the rents in San Francisco, for instance. They keep raising the rents, and a studio is as much as a used car.
Mm.
And you may end up living in your used car because you can't afford the rent. And they have sent people out of the city, and yet they say they have affordable housing, but there's tenancy in common. There's all these different strategies that they can use to take over their building and kick everybody out and make it a condominium and then charge $3,000, $4,000 for a one bedroom with a half a bath.
Yeah.
So housing has to be addressed. And let's not even talk about the homeless and a homeless veteran. I mean, there's 2 million. California has the largest amount of veterans here in the state, in this state, period. And so many of them are homeless. We need to make sure that they've done their time, they've served their country. I want them to have a place where they can lay their head. I
Isn't
want
that
to get
crazy? Isn't that
them.
crazy?
And
And when
yeah,
I
it's
when I
insane.
see veterans, like real true veterans, and you don't really know, and then some guy will be wearing his tags, right? He goes, I'm a veteran man, and I'm on the street right now. On the street, a veteran. You know what I mean? And you were in the nav. Well, it's just that just boggles my mind that we actually let that happen. People that I was in Desert Storm, but we didn't do much because our ship was the time I was in dry dock most of the time. I didn't even go past the equator. It was pretty sad. But the thing was is there I know it's pathetic. But the thing was
I can say
is
that.
I know, but the thing was is you were in that position serving and protecting your country, right? And
Right. And I
yeah.
cared for the people that did the service. I was in the hospital corps.
Uh-huh.
So I took care of everybody from the officers. I went to field medicine school at Camp Pendleton. So
Uh-huh.
I was able to take care of the people in the field. To have them get out. And I remember when I got out, it was kind of a shock to my system because the government had been caring for me all this time. And then Now I'm out. What do I do? How do I navigate living outside of the government now? How do I
I
find my own
remember that. It was
my
tough.
place? Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
shocking. It's a jolt to your system.
Yeah.
You have to figure out how to navigate it, and so many of them, including myself, I had PTSD, and so um, the PTSD. These guys need to be treated. These women need to be treated. Um, uh, the service has been brutal on a lot of people, and and I want them to get the treatment they need. A lot of them on the streets that are homeless have mental health issues
Oh yeah.
from PTSD and other issues. And so I want to see everybody get the care that they need. Ever since Reagan wiped out all the mental health and freed everybody, mental health has not been a priority, and it should be. Everybody needs help, and there's no shame in anybody's game to go see a therapist. The therapist helped me overcome some of the things that I thought I'd never overcome. So I'm very thankful.
Where we all are, I mean, here's the way I've always seen it in my mind is, it's kind of like grades. There are people out there that are A plus people and A people and A minus people and B plus people. I'm kind of like a C plus, B minus. Every once in a while, I'll like maybe be an A minus guy. But there are people out there that and that's according to our culture. That's according to the society that we built. You see what
Sure.
I'm saying? So in a lot of ways, it's unfair because in a village, by by a river, next with your horses and your huts, whatever you were in teepee, whatever you were in, two, three, 400 years ago, a long time ago, Native Americans or whatever, everybody looked after each other. Everybody really
Right.
took care of the. It was a village that took care of the village, and we've lost that. We've lost so much of that. And if we can get back to that, then we can really, I think, we can really start focusing on evolving, like evolving. Like becoming better, like a better human being, and like maybe learning telepathia and telekinesis. Now I'm kidding.
Well, maybe that's a higher consciousness, but you're right. I see that we're apathetic now more. People we have a short attention span. Everybody's so digital. I mean, you see people walk down the street, they can't even look up at you or meet you eye to eye because they're on their cell
What
phone.
was
They're
that? I'm sorry. What was
they're
that?
texting.
What was that?
You made the point. So,
Well,
so
dang, I see
I
it
mean,
all.
people are disenfranchised. They're not connected, and that it amazes me as a human being. Just for me, when I walk down the street and I see people laying on the sidewalk, I'll walk over to them and ask them if they're okay. I'll look at them and even if they're sleeping, I'll look at them to make sure they're actually sleeping and not laying there dead. I look for respiration movement and stuff. The perils of being a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure that they're okay. But there's so many people like that, and cities are taking away their homes and pushing them off of sidewalks, and they have really nowhere to go. And a lot of the programs that are available, they'd rather stay on the street than go to some of these programs, and that bears looking at too. I mean, why would you choose the street over a program, but they feel like their rights are being taken away? And I understand that as
Yeah.
well.
The programs, from what I'm hearing, and I've heard a few horror stories, is they put you in a registry, people research you, and then people find you, and then if you have tickets or citations, you're going to jail or your collectors will. I mean, there's so many things,
Right,
and
right.
believe it or not, if you're homeless, you probably have somebody, a collection agency, coming after you. I mean, hello, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I do,
Yeah,
and
it's
people
just. But the
and
thing
people
is,
are reluctant to get in the system because of that, because of those issues you mentioned.
yeah. So here's what I'd like to do, is if we could, and what we usually do on the show is we we go over you telling about you, and everybody likes you, and I'm hearing some good stuff. Everybody's like, I like her already. She's awesome. She's fantastic. She's so cool. And you got some viewers now. You're building up. What I'd like to do is
Hey, thank
kind of
you.
tell everybody where you're at in your campaign and what's going on and what do you need to do, and what's necessary. What are the goals right now?
right now, what's necessary is not just for me to get my word out. That's important. But I need the support. I need to raise 4K, $4,000 in order to get my name on the ballot to be a viable candidate.
Uh-huh.
Once my name is on the ballot, I think things are going to really take off because not only do I have a great message, but I have something up my sleeve, so to
Oh, are
speak.
you talking like some kind of secret weapon?
Well, possibly. I'm. But here's what I really need. I need to get my name on the ballot to be a real contender. I need people to support me. I have a GoFundMe page. I have a rally page. There's articles about me. Out there. If you Google me, you'll see me all over the place. I have done a lot with policy here in the city and
Mm-hmm.
county of San Francisco. Uh, People in California don't realize that the reason that gender, the binary system that was on the applications for so many years, changed
Mm-hmm.
was because I got the Department of Health to change them under surveillance and epidemiology for AIDS clients, and then the city changed it, and then other cities followed San Francisco's suit. And so
Right.
now that's why when you pick up an application and it says gender, it may say male to female, female to male, trans, other,
Mm-hmm.
but offers you other options than the standard binary. That was something that I take great pride in having accomplished.
Right.
And so to have the people support me and help me get my name on the ballot is tantamount. And I have to do it, by I think February the 7th. So I'm doing everything I possibly can other than sell my car. I don't want to sell my car, but the thought has occurred to me. But I need transportation. I'm not
Well,
the
we don't
spring.
want to let that happen. What I'd like to do is make sure that this message gets out. So I'm putting your links to your Facebook and to your Twitter in this show. So when people come on, and I'll have your name and these links tagged in here so they can look you up. Just
Oh, good.
Google me at this particular way. I'll tell you later on how it works. But so people
Okay.
can find this video quicker. Um,
Okay. I'll actually I have a I have a website, that veronicafimbres.com, but it's a work in progress.
right,
But the
right.
first thing I'm gonna do is make sure I get this video on every page that I can get it on, so that people can see me, meet me. I can meet people in this way. At least they'll get to see what I'm about and know that I'm a real person. That I'm not just a flash in the pan, and that I'm not doing it because this and that. I'm doing it because I feel like I can make a difference. And I feel like the Green Party is such a strong party that we need to get. There's been people over it, and leaders of it, but it's a party of the people. It's not just one person. It's a party of the people, and I'm one of those people. And I would like to see it embrace me and help lift me up and help me get on the ballot so that I can make a difference. And
Awesome.
I'm listening. I'm listening to everybody.
Yeah. Listen and apply that information. That sounds fantastic. Okay, so I was going to go over just a lot of things, but you and Josh are pretty up. You, Chris, and Josh are on the same page and all your on the issues. Oh, here's a question. One, and it just came into my head. In regards to now, what was that guy's name with Amazon? Bozio or Bozo?
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos, Jeff
Yeah,
Bezos. He's
yeah.
super
He owns
rich.
Amazon,
He's like
Whole
he's now
Foods.
pronounced the richest man in the world, right?
Oh
Now,
yeah, he's about to buy Target.
yeah, and Target and all this stuff. So his employees, and this was I got to okay. I'll get to the other question, but his employees are now uh
Exhausted,
they're
working too hard.
they're getting food stamps. They're having to get food stamps because they don't get paid enough. They're having to get socialism because of his capitalism.
Right.
So I know you're all for socialism, and I know you're all and making sure that's going to start to be. There's just no other way. There's just no unless you want people just dying and stuff like that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not big on death. Even though I've been a hospice nurse, death is. I think that I want the very best for everybody, and this is one thing that I've believed. Everybody deserves the very best that life has to offer. They just have to grab it, reach for it. They have to understand that it's obtainable for them. They have to know that they're entitled to it.
Right.
Everybody's entitled to the very best that life has to offer. And I would like to see the state of California offer the best to its residents.
Excellent. So I know Chris, you guys are on the same page as far as minimum wage. I'm thinking that Democrats are like, maybe let's not even they don't even talk about it, and they're thinking maybe about 12, but and then everybody else is like, well, the Democrats, Justice Democrats, well 15, but I think 17 or 18 or 19, and Josh is like, let's freaking do 20, because if you do 20 then we'll negotiate at 16. Then we'll meet you halfway. But you got to ask for
Well,
a little
right
bit.
now,
What do you
well,
think
right
about the
now, can you
minimum
hear me?
wage?
Okay.
What how much? How much should what should it be set at? Do you think in California?
Uh, Um, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
Okay. Because I had a phone call come in, and I don't hear you as clear as I did at the beginning.
Oh,
But what I was going to say to you is that I think that number one, I'm astounded that In and Out Burger pays more than anybody else at the beginning, entry level jobs.
right.
They're paying 15, 14, $15 an hour.
I know.
Uh, at $17 an hour, that doesn't even cover where we've been. I mean, wages have not increased in so long that they're not keeping up with the economy. And the struggle makes it harder, and that's why people need food stamps. That's why people need to supplement their income. And it's really weird the way they penalize you. So you can get a job and make some money, and then you can make food stamps, but they don't want you to get too much money because then they'll take your food stamps away. And it just the formulas that they use for calculating these are all turned to be against the people, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. So I think I'm like Josh. Give them as much money as you can give them, but people deserve a standard set wage, and I think that in California with people like Jeff Bezos, there should be no reason that he's not paying his people off the chain. That the people have made him.
Yeah,
That he
isn't
would
that
be
amazing?
nothing without those people. Tesla, all these corporations that have all this money should be paying their people and donating as much as possible, and paying people as much as possible.
Okay,
They
so
should be.
go ahead.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. Sorry, you were gonna finish. Go ahead
No,
and
that
finish.
was it. Just as much as possible. So I think the wages should be minimum wage should be at least 17, $18 an hour,
That sounds fantastic. Perfect.
and then kick it up if you they show progress. And another thing that's really crooked about the way so California is set up so that um, they can hire you, but they could fire you at their own discretion. They don't even have to tell you why they're firing you.
Yeah,
They
it's
can fire
called
you
at will
before
termination.
your probation period is over.
Yeah,
It's they can fire you at will, and I don't think that's very fair. I think that's wrong, and I'd
right.
like to see that change, that policy.
Well, should it? I've been in the position of being a general manager of taking care of 50 some odd employees, and that isn't fair. What should happen is there should be a process, a 1, 2, 3 process. Whereas if you are doing something wrong, and if you're not getting it, or if it's something, then but at the same time, if we're not providing the right training as a
Right?
company
You
to
how are
you,
you going to fire
you
somebody
know,
if you're not
yeah.
showing them
And there's
what they
learning
need to
curves, and there's certain ways
do to
people
succeed?
learn and stuff like that. You got to be tolerant. There's got to be more
Right,
tolerant, and that
and you
that
have to
comes to
be
my last
patient.
and that comes to my last and final question, which I didn't think I even asked Josh or brought it up to Chris, was small businesses have such a hard time in California. They seem to have a lot of bureaucratic red tape. They don't seem to be able to grow fast. And I think a lot of it does have to do with the income levels that we're talking about. The way that
Right.
the The little mom and pop store on the street can't compete with Walmart. But
No, no,
but there's a
hardly.
lot of regulations and stuff that I think are definitely we have to have the oversight regulation and stuff of I don't want to go eat at a pizza place where I know they don't have the A+ rating or the pass rating, which I think is important. But there are some small businesses out there that have left or have a hard time. They don't stay in business long. What would you think you could do to help people, at least start a business and start to be, just help small business or entrepreneurs to
I think
start flourishing,
I think I
and,
would
and
look
even
at
current companies and get better ways of keeping them here in
I
California.
think I would look at the Small Business Administration and look for ways to overhaul it so that it would not let mom and pop stores and entrepreneurial fledglings die on the vine.
Right.
Small businesses succumb to the larger corporations and stuff. But also, I think corporations have a responsibility, and they certainly haven't taken it
Right.
because corporations are not people. That them calling themselves people and getting to act like they're individual and get all the benefits of a single person when they're corporations is ridiculous, and that ought to be banned. That is not acceptable. They are not people, and they all too often don't care about the people that work for them. I
Yeah.
mean, just like so today they said the Walmart is raising the minimum wage. Well, whoopie doo, that's nice, and yet they're firing, pink slipping a lot of people.
And Sam's Club,
And
which
their
is the
people
same
have
company.
always been on food stamps
Yeah.
during the holidays because they can't afford to feed
Right.
them.
No, it's just a ruse. It's just a show. They just laid off thousands of people with Sam's Club, which is the same company,
Right,
Sam's Club
right.
and Walmart.
It's all
So they
across,
so they dump a bunch of people, and they got all this extra money. Oh, let's give them a little raise.
right,
It's
right.
just
And the same thing with Trump and his Trump was said that he was going to help Carrier in Indiana, and they ended up laying those people off after all.
it's crazy. Well, hey, listen, this sounds great. I don't really have anything else. You're a Green Party person. You're fantastic. Everything's going well. The last but not least question, and I think I said it was the last, but this is the more last question. Um, it's a big chair when you're sitting in that seat and go. I mean, imagine you're sitting there and you walk in the office and everybody's gone, all the lights and cameras are over, and you got to picture yourself in that place. It's called forecasting. You're sitting there and you're going, what is your first reaction if you're the governor of California?
I think I would probably cry. I think because I
I
just
would
you saying it
ball my eyes out like a little dude.
and just you saying it and my seeing that in my mind's eye as bringing tears to my eyes now. So I think I would probably cry with the fact that I would be overwhelmed that the people believed in me and supported me enough to get me to that place. And I would be totally, eternally grateful that I would be the landmark historian to be the first woman as governor in California, the first Black woman as governor in California, the first trans woman as governor of California, the first nurse. Just the first person that the people cared enough about to push me over the line to help me get there. I think I would just do what I did when I first saw the ocean when I came here. I I just cried. I
Yeah,
mean, it was just so emotionally moving to see that,
yeah.
to see the ocean, the splendor and the beauty of it. I think if I were sitting back in that office and I looked around the room, I think I would just cry because the people have pushed me over the line and the people helped me get there. Because it takes everybody. It doesn't, I may be the face or the whatever, but it takes the people. And that's who I'm listening to. And that's who I want to serve. I want to serve the people. I've served the people as a nurse for 35 years. And as a commissioner of Veterans Affairs for 14 years and 8 months. And, I just, a life of service has appealed to me. And I feel like I can do the people's bidding without a lot of drama and a lot of mess and I just feel like I can do the people's bidding, and I'm for the people. And when they say we the people, I'm one of them.
Yeah. So you've been there. So you're not going to forget us, right?
Hardly. I don't think I'll
I
forget
know you won't
anybody.
forget me.
Oh no, you're unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So thank you for all of this, for coming on. So what I'm going to do now is everybody's look at all those thumbs up and everybody 1329C Ryan Bennick. Can you see all those people tweeting? Here's what's cool about this show is that you can tell everybody about yourself and what you're about, what you're doing, and everybody can get a general idea of what you're doing. But what's great, and no matter what happens, now you're out there. You know what I'm saying? Now you're out. Now you're in the realm of social media, and you can share this because I'm going to give you the link, and you can share that with people. Learn here I am. Know more about me. And I think we just. And by the way, you were a veterans what commissioner something?
Commissioner of Veterans Affairs for the City and County of San Francisco.
How long?
I'm the first badged officer, a trans officer ever in the history and of San Francisco, the city and county.
That's
And
kind
I
of
was
something you
told
want
by
to
the
kind of bring up a
LGBT
little bit more. I'm
Museum
just saying.
that I'm a living legend, whatever that means. But
Well,
I'm just me.
yeah, use it to your advantage. I mean, besides where you all this and that, I mean, your core seems like you really care about, and this is my core. This is my core right here.
Yeah, I,
I
I, I
care
feel you.
about
I
you
got
feel the
you.
core.
I
I
got you.
feel like it's me. It's about the planet and all of its inhabitants. You know, so and I know you'll get it.
Right, and I feel the same. I feel the same way. I mean, that we only know of this world, and this is the world that we should be taking care of. Planet needs our guidance, our shepherds, whatever the word is I'm looking for. Our yeah, that word,
That's all right.
whatever it is. We need to guide this state. We need to care and nurture for the state. We need to care and nurture for Earth, and we need to care and nurture for one another. We need to take care of our air, our water, our kids, um, uh, life, our senior citizens, our vets. We need to care about everybody because everybody matters. Everybody matters. Everybody makes a difference
Everybody
in some
matters.
way.
Everybody matters. Right?
Hey,
Everybody matters.
but
Everybody.
yeah, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Everybody matters.
Yeah. That's
And I listen.
beautiful.
Look, I listen with ease. I pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. I have a problem with that. I know I have 2 years, but I got a big mouth.
Yes,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
yes
I
you
do.
do, but it's a very effective mouth.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna. Anyway, thank you for that. I think that's the best compliment I've ever had. Thank you so much.
Oh, see.
Thank you. And hey, it's a pleasure to have you on. So this is what we're doing. Thank you for coming on, everybody. Here it is. I'm going to post. You want to say real quick what your GoFundMe is, or do you want them to go to your website first, or where do you want them to go? Where would you rather them go?
I don't. My GoFundMe is at Veronika Veronika for governor with the number 4 governor at gmail.com. That's my email. I think that's also my sign on for my GoFundMe page. So you might find me there. My website under construction. So if you see Latin on it, know it's still a work in progress.
All right.
I have a volunteer that's helping me do stuff in it. He's not always there. Um, it's Veronika Veronika Fimbres. F as in fire, I as in impossible, M as in mother, B as in boy, R as in Rachel, E as in Edward, S as in Sam. Fimbres.com.
Outstanding. And I'm gonna have those links, everybody, on the bottom of my show. So now you can share this with everybody, learn more about
Okay.
you, and just letting you know that I really enjoy this interview and questionnaire and getting to know Veronika Fimbres, running for gubernatorial candidate in California with the Green Party, and I really like that picture behind you. But anyway,
Oh, thank you. You know
it's
who
a
it
really
is,
great
right?
picture. Okay, so what? So now I'm gonna turn off the show. So is there anything you want to say to anybody before we leave? I'll let you have the last say, kind of.
Um, I would just like to thank all the people out there in California and all of your listeners and viewers for at least hearing me out and um, supporting me in any way that you can to help me get to that place. Um, I think it will be a journey that we can all take a hand in hand and together. And I vow as an effective governor to listen to you because I'm one of you and we are the people, we the people. So I thank you for your time and for listening to me. Um, uh, and I appreciate your support in any way that you think you can help and anything you can do. But would like for you to help me get my name on that ballot. And so, if you can do that, every nickel, dollar, penny, quarter, dime helps. And I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity to serve you and serve the state of California, which I'm very proud to be in. I love California.
California knows how to party.
California dreaming. Da, da, da.
All right, guys, I'm going to do the shaka and a big aloha. I'll turn back on if you want to stay on. You can for the later show. People will come on and maybe just hang out with us. Nobody's gonna. It's just gonna be cool, and that's our regular show. If you've seen our regular show, but you're welcome to stay on.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say aloha, everybody. Thanks for coming on, and thank you all, and awesome
Thank you,
Veronika for
everybody.
aloha. Bye bye, everybody. Stopping streaming now. Aloha.